Hey campers, welcome to week 6 safety on Thrifty Tuesday. Today we have 2 fun activities that are going to teach us and remind us about fire safety. We have one that is going to go over about candles, and then the other one that is going to talk about fire extinguishers.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
So the first one that we're going to do is about candles. And so we are going to talk about one big question. And the question is, what are 3 things that a fire needs? So we want to think, what are 3 things that a fire needs? So what we need to answer that question are, we need 3 birthday candles. We need something that will stick to our tray. I used a baking tray, so if you use a cooking sheet, a tray that you use at school, something that will keep everything inside. So we need something to stick to our tray, so I used Play-Doh. And once you use your Play-Doh, you roll them up into 3 balls. So we got our 3 balls, a lighter. We need scissors because you will be cutting one of your candles very small. So let's do that right now. So I'm going to cut that really small. So I'm going to cut that super small. We need a glass jar or a glass cup, whichever one you have. So we'll set that there. And then you need a glass of water. So I'm going to set that up real fast. So what you're going to do is, you're going to have your 3 Play-Doh balls all lined up. You're going to put your candles inside the Play-Doh. And with the little one, you're just going to slightly put it on top. You don't want to stick it in all the way. So as we do this experiment, it is very, very important to have an adult around you when you are with fire, using fire, anything that has to do with fire. So let's get started. So what we're going to do first is we have these all lined up with our candles in the Play-Doh. Now remember, when you're using a lighter or a match, you are having a parent do it for you or an adult. So we're going to light all 3 candles. Alright, so we have our 3 candles lit. So we're going to go to our blue candle first, and I want you to look closely and ask yourself, why did this candle go out? So you're going to take your glass cup and you're just going to put it over the cup, but be careful, you don't want to do it fast because the flame will go out. So if you look closely, it fogs up super fast. Now look as the flame slowly goes out. Flame slowly goes out. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. I'll take an extra candle that I have and we'll light that up, because that happens super fast. So we're going to go over the cup again. It's fogging up super fast. As it fogs up, the flame is slowly going out. And now it's gone. So I want to ask you, why did it go out? I'm going to give you a couple seconds to think. So the flame went out because it ran out of air. The flame ran out of oxygen that was in this cup. So oxygen is what we breathe in. So when I take a deep breath, I'm breathing in oxygen. And so oxygen is around this cup, and then you had small oxygen inside this cup, and so the fire was breathing in that oxygen and it ran out. The fire out here is still burning because it's breathing in the outside oxygen. So simply put, this flame ran out of air, and that's why it went out. And so next one, we have our yellow candle. And I want you to ask, why did this flame go out? So let's take a look. You're going to take your cup of water and just slowly pour some water over it. Why did that go out? Well, when I poured the water over it, I cooled the candle. Just like when you see small fires and you just pour water on it, like with the firefighters pouring the hose on it, they cooled the fire so it would go out. And if you want to really get into scientific terms, we also took the air away, like in this one. We took the air away by pouring the water on it. So, this one, we took the air away. And this one, we took the heat away by pouring water on it. And now this one, we really need to zoom on it because this is going to take a little bit. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Why did this candle go out? So this candle went out because there was nothing left for it to burn. These candles are the fuel for the fire to burn, because when we have a fire, something makes it burn. And right now, the candle makes it burn. But for our pink candle, we had no candle left for it to burn. So now, when we go back to our big question, what are the 3 things that a fire needs? Fire needs air. We go to this one and we poured water on it. Fire needs heat, so the warmth. And then we go to the last one, and then fire needs fuel, something to burn on. So we now know what the 3 things that fire needs. But in order to make a fire go out, we know that we need to remove those things, which is going to take me into our next experiment, which is going to be about extinguishers. So stay tuned to watch that.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
We are now going to do our second activity. It's about fire extinguishers. We are going to answer the question, what is a fire extinguisher and what it does. So for this activity, you are going to need a cup, some baking soda, and some vinegar. If you have apple cider vinegar, that is completely fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your cup, and then I have some cut up tissue paper that kind of look like flames. This is completely optional. I'm just doing this for you guys to see. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay them around my cup to look like my cup is on fire. So I'm just laying it around my cup. It's not perfect at all. Alright, so now my cup's on fire. So before we get started, we're going to answer the question, what is a fire extinguisher? So we see fire extinguishers wherever we go. We see them in restaurants, schools, hospitals. We even have them at our houses. So fire extinguishers are tools that are used to put out small fires in emergencies. So I'm going to put a picture right here to show you what a fire extinguisher is. So with this experiment, I am going to show you what a fire extinguisher does. So in order to do that, you're going to take your baking soda, and based on the size of your cup, you're going to put some spoonfuls of baking soda. So with my cup, I'm going to put about 2 or 3 spoonfuls. I just have a little spoon, so I'm putting about 3 tablespoons in my cup. So I did 1, as my flames fall. Okay. 2, and 3. So I have my flames, and I'm going to pour a little bit of my apple cider vinegar into the cup. And so let's see what's going to happen. So I'm going to move this a little bit closer so you can see. Let's see what happens to my flames. So I'm just slowly pouring it in. Oh look, it's slowly taking in my flames. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Oh, and it's bubbling up. Whoa. So with fire extinguishers, the fire extinguishers are foam inside, and that it cools the fire around you. And that the goal is, when you use the fire extinguisher, you just move it all around you to cut off the fire. And so what we just did here was, with the baking soda and the vinegar, we kind of created that foam with the reaction. And what you saw with the foam, it was carbon dioxide. So the air that we breathe out was what that reaction was called. And so what we just wanted to show you today, fire extinguishers are safety tools that are used mostly in emergencies, that are used to take out small fires. And what do? They remove heat from the fire in like a foam-like substance. So with these two activities, we hope that you learned something or reviewed it. Now remember, if you decide to do these activities at home, you must have a parent by you. So please have fun. If you do these, take a picture, use the hashtag Colerain Cares, and we will see you Wednesday for our virtual field trips. See you later.